DIY video for you. I've never done a DIY video and I thought this was the perfect DIY video to kick off my DIY videos. Could I say DIY video one more time? DIY video. Alright, so I'm going to be making these mason jar, mermaid inspired mason jars. I did a blog post on it a few weeks ago and I also have featured them in quite a few of my Instagram photos, and I've received so much interest on how I did it. So I thought, why not? I'll film a video. They're super easy. They take no time at all. Things first, what will you need? So you don't need too many things. I just went down to Target and I picked up a car wash sponge and a mason jar. Also need some scissors. So what I do is I will cut the sponge up. Pretty much I divide it into 3, and that just then, if I need to, I can cut each third up into another half. So I do end up with 6 mini sponges, if that makes any sense. You'll see when I do it in the video. Also, you need some acrylic paints. I have bought it's a bluey purpley type color, a pink, and also a white. So I got the white mainly because I love these 2 colors, but to achieve that real ombre effect, I needed to add a little bit of white into it to help blend. And then finally, to give it that real mermaid look, if the ombre wasn't enough, I also got some tacky glue, which is just, normal craft glue, and as well some glitter. And in this jar here, you'll be able to see that I've actually mixed quite a few of these colors in so that I can get a real mermaidy multicolor effect. So I'm going to start off by cutting the sponge into 6 pieces. By having 6 pieces, it allows me to have 1 sponge per color that I'm using on the jars, as well as a spare one for the glue, and then others just to help blend, to mix different colors together on the sponge. Also, if you aren't very good at using scissors, make sure you ask an adult or somebody else to help you with this step, because they can be quite tricky to cut the sponge. Okay, so then next I'm just going to show you the 3 colors I'm using. So a dark blue, a white, and a pink. Start by placing a little bit of the darkest color you have, as that'll be your base color. And also when you're using the sponge, make sure you use the outer side that you haven't already cut, because that is going to be the smoothest surface. And then we just start by dabbing that on the mason jar, and just in patting motions all around the jar, just keep patting really quickly, and it'll just spread the color out really nicely. Once you have completely covered the lower third of the mason jar and you're happy with how it looks, start by adding a little bit of the next color. So I'm adding the pink to the blue to kind of get that ombre effect and help to blend it up, because I'm obviously going to go from the darkest to the lightest shade. And as you can see here, I kind of wasn't happy with the color that I achieved, so I've added a little bit more white, a little bit more pink, just to make sure I get that purpley color, just so that when I'm blending the blue up to the pink, it kind of fades gradually. Then taking a new sponge, you just start dabbing it obviously in the next third, so the second third of the jar, the middle section. And obviously at the moment it doesn't look that good. You can see here I go and pick up that first sponge we used on the darker blue shade, and I just go over where the 2 shades meet. And just by dabbing along that join line, it actually blends the 2 colors. So it's blending the lighter shade into the darker shade, and that's how we achieve that ombre effect. Next, I'm going to go in and just add more color to that color that we've already had. So that's how I try and change it gradually. So I'm adding more white and pink, and that just makes it a lighter and pinker shade of the color we already had. Using a fresh sponge, I then go and do the top third, the last section of the jar, and using the corner part of the sponge, I can actually get in around the top part of the jar where it actually is quite tricky. So I just keep dabbing the sponge on the mason jar to make sure that all the areas of glass are covered. And then I just go back in with the sponges to make sure that everything is blended really nicely and that I am getting that true ombre effect. So I just continue to go back and forwards between the different sponges to get the desired effect. Once it's finished, you just sit it and let it dry. I was quite impatient. I used my hairdryer just to make the process a lot faster. And obviously once it's fully dry, the fun part begins and we start adding glue to the base. So I just did one big line around the entire base of my jar. It's probably easier to work in sections, but it didn't worry me at all. I was able to work quick enough. Then using a fresh sponge, you just blend that out. Once the glue is all blended out, you can start applying the glitter. Now I've actually combined a few shades of glitter just to make sure I get that really mermaidy, pretty multicolored look. And then because I want to reuse the glitter, I just then pour it back into that original container, and then I can reuse it on the next mason jar. Alright, so that is it for our DIY Mermaid Ombre mason jars. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. If you haven't already, please make sure you subscribe to my channel. I really do appreciate it, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!